Hello and welcome to Anatomy with Dr. P. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the different types of teeth and naming the individual anatomical regions of a tooth. So let's start off by naming the different types of teeth. We can see here we have a lower left portion of the mandible, and we can see at the front of the mandible we have these teeth here. These teeth are known as incisors, and if we look at them from the top, we can see that they have a very straight edge. Incisors are going to be useful for biting off a chunk of food. Our next type of tooth is this one here. This tooth comes to a single point. This is known as the canine tooth or cuspid tooth. Cuspid refers to point. Our next two teeth we have are the bicuspids. Bicuspids can also be called premolars. Bicuspid indicates that there are 2 points on the teeth. So our cuspid is really good for helping us latch onto food. By essentially sticking that point in, we can hold on. Our bicuspids, these 2 points, are better for shearing and cutting food. Think of these like a pair of scissors. The back teeth here are the molars. And we can tell that they're molars because they each have 4 or 5 points and a relatively flat-topped appearance. Now, to see the individual anatomical regions of the tooth, we're going to actually open this model up. So as I pull the bone off, we can see that the portion of the tooth that sits above the gingiva, above the gum, is known as the crown. The portion that extends down into the alveolus, which is just the way we call the tooth socket, this portion of the tooth is called the roots. So remember, the roots of a tree or of a plant extend down into the ground, just like the roots of a tooth extend down into the bone. Now, if I open this tooth up, I can see on the inside, running through the root region, I have the root canal. The root canal is how nerves, blood vessels enter up into the inside of the tooth. So it's that passageway that's allowing those vessels and nerves up into this central region, which we call the pulp cavity. Now, one thing to note on this tooth, this little brown area, that's a cavity. And we can see that this cavity is almost all the way down to the pulp. Now, if that happens and bacteria are able to get into this pulp and start infecting it, we may have to have a procedure done called a root canal, in which the top of the tooth is removed, all of the infection is scraped out, and these root canals are capped off, and then a crown is placed back on top of the tooth.